Hello and welcome to our part 4 of our new polytunnel build. Tiki Tunnel Tiki Tunnel 2. This one, the Revenge. So this is the smaller brother of Tiki Tunnel 1, which is the 15 foot by 10 foot polytunnel that we built at the early part of the year. This is the new one that we're building. It's trampoline frames that we're building it with. So if you've been following along, you'll know that they're not the two trampolines that we got weren't exactly the right sizes. They weren't both 8 feet. One of them was Imperial, which is just slightly less than 8 feet. But it's coming along, and we're going to get the horizontal bars in today and get all that nice and bonny and screwed in and bolted in and taped up. So yeah, go and see my brother up at the plots. He'll show you what he's doing.
Okay, so since last time we visited the Tiki Tunnel 2, we've affixed the first of the horizontal bars in. Now, as Joe was saying last time, we needed to, we could do utilising these existing sort of T-joins. Now, we've got a T-join at either end, so at the back end and the fore end we've got the T-joins. But what we have done is we've made these two central ones a little bit lower so that it's not going to stick up as proudly, because obviously there's no T-joins there, we're not going through the centre, so these are a little bit lower and they're actually running quite well across there. Now it will stick up like sort of not so as you'd see it, but the two middle ones will be sticking up a little tiny bit higher than the end ones. That's what we're thinking anyway, although when you look at it from the top it doesn't seem like it's doing that. But these are sort of horizontal now, these bars, and we've bolted through, so I've had to drill through with the steel bit, 4mm one first and then an 8mm one, and I put washers on them either side, so there's washers on the nut side and washers on the coach bolt side, the rounded side. You can see that. They're set at 120, so 120 centimetres, which is the metric 4 foot. So we've got a 4 foot gap, a 4 foot gap and a 4 foot gap. So they're going to be, I think, ideal and okay. I think they're going to be alright then. If we look down the bars, they're not too bad, are they? Pretty straight. Not 100%, but pretty straight. And then there's going to be another one, hopefully, that we can put onto this side. If we can get the other ones on this side to interlock as well, then it should be okay. Although that one does look like it needs to be tinkered with, because I don't think that's going to be, that's lower on that side. We'll sort it. No, I've not gone mad. That's just for illustration purposes. So we use the 4mm bit first, steel bit or metal bit, as a pilot hole. Now that doesn't go all the way through, but it goes through that side, and then into that. Oops, that goes through that, and into that. And then we follow it on with the 8mm one. And that gives you a hole that goes straight through. You must wear gloves and you must wear goggles when you're doing that, because iron filings are no fun if you get them in your skin, or especially in your eyes. So make sure you're wearing goggles. Okay, so when we're putting our bolt through, this is the type of bolt that we're using. It's called a coach bolt. Like that. That's 6mm in width. It'll say M6 or something like that. And it's 75 long. So that just slots through there like that. Then we put a washer underneath. You just get a washer. Fiddly to do this with one hand. I need to get somebody down here with me, don't I, boys and girls, to do the filming. The washer goes on and then the nut goes on, so I'll just show you that. Okay, so bolt's gone through, washer, and then nut, and then you nip it up and tighten it up so that it's sturdy and stable. Okay, so what we've done is we've got the long straight bars that are going to be our horizontal bars. They were too wide to fit into these T-bar connectors, so I've flattened them off a little bit. Luckily, once you've flattened them off, they're not too squashed and wide to get through the gap. so they will fit through, but they need to be hammered in. So we hammered those in and run the bars along. I'm just going to cut that off with the reciprocating saw. This has got a metal blade in it, so it should be okay. I've just done one with it, so it'll be fine. So I'm just going to cut that through now if we can. Like that. Okay. That should be fine. I'm going to tape the ends anyway with the Gorilla Tape. Anything that's sticking out proud and prominent is going to get wrapped with the Gorilla Tape before the spongy white tape goes on. This being metal, when the actual poly does come with it, I've ordered some white tape as well. It's like a spongy white tape that will go on the outside of these, and that'll stop the hot metal in summer from melting the plastic. That's the idea of it. But any sort of prominent proud edges like this we need to cover, so we're going to cover them with the Gorilla Tape. Alright, so I'm just going to go around and tape up anything that's prominent sticking out. I'll put some tape over so that there's a more gradual sort of a taper off when we put the sheeting on. The last thing you want really is you put your sheeting on and there's something sticking up that's going to tear it or put a sort of a split in it. So all of these are going to be covered, and also that'll prevent water ingress going down into the poles and what have you. So that's my next step really. I'm just going to get those all covered up now with the Gorilla Tape, and I think that's us for today, because we've got the bars in at the top. We've been on it for I've been on it for about 2 hours, something like that, fiddling about, because these don't all interlock. If you look on this side, I managed to get them all with the fluted edges into each other on this side, but on this side we couldn't, so I've had to put a sort of jointing pipe in between, so the two poles meet up inside there. There's a bit of no nails gone into that, but because it's all bolted and clamped on, it'll be fine. That it's sturdy, do you know what I mean? It'll be all right. And there's another bar going to be going across here at this sort of a level. So yeah, we're going to be getting quite a lot more done tomorrow, I think. Me and Mick were messing about with his wind turbine before. We were on that for a couple of hours. It was a bit of a fiddle, that. He needed a bit of adjusting, so yeah, just done a couple of hours on the Tiki Tunnel Mark II today, but there will be more to be done. If you look at it now though, because of the adjustments that we've made, it's not far off being bang on, that. Height wise, width wise, dimensions, separations. They're set at 120s. They're all 120, these gaps, so that's fine. We know these bars are right. They're all right. I've got the timber over there. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get all these things taped up first for you. Okay. So all the joins basically, where there's a difference in sort of diameter on the pipes or tubes, etc. I've taped them all. We're waiting on now I'm deciding whether or not to put the base frame in or wait on for the poly. The poly is going to be running across the top all the way down, and I'm thinking of stapling it and fixing it to a base plate, the baseboards, so they'll be set into the ground horizontally, making sure that they're all flat and straight and true, and they'll be fixed on with either the bolts, or if I can get some clamps, I'll get some clamps. But I've got the bolts to actually bolt them all through, so it'll mean drilling through the pipes and then fixing the boards through with the bolts. Now what I wanted to do really was have it sort of a twin base. So there's an outer base to staple to and an inner base that will act as your bed, as the back of the bed coming forward. But we've got all them there that we can utilise for the beds. But we just need something for the sheeting to fix to. So the boards will be going on the outside of these, screwed to the outside of these, and then when the sheeting comes over, it'll get stapled to that boarding, if you like, going round. I was contemplating doing it as an exact twin of this, and I still might do it as an exact twin of Tiki Tunnel 1. You know, with those side bits up. But I'm thinking for them side bits, instead of it being timbered like that, I'm going to get some more of the 4mm twin wall clear polycarbonate to do it the same way that we've done the windows. I might get the thicker polycarbonate. Something like, if you can get 8mm or 10mm polycarbonate. I know you can get 10mm polycarbonate thickness to do the side panelling with, because I think that'll look cool, and I also think that it'll look good. it'll be sort of practically, what would you call it? Practically correct to get them in there, so that we've got the poly over the top, but we've got the clear twin wall around the sides there, and a baseboard along the bottom. But that's all to be picked up tomorrow and next week, I guess. It's going to be another week before we can get our poly sheeting, our plastic sheeting to go over it. But I'll try and get all the framing done, and I'll get some lateral bracing, some angled bracing put in to these as well, making sure that we're maintaining that sort of 4 foot. We'll call it 4 foot. It's metric 4 foot. It's 120 centimetres or 1200 millimetres if you want to be like that. And we'll get those in. It's pretty sturdy now. As I shake it, that's me shaking it now. It's pretty sturdy, but once the timber's going and all the rest of it, it's a process that continually sort of firms it up and makes it rock solid in the end. I'll have a bit of a clear up as well, clear these to one side and get rid of that. Well, I'll pick that up now actually while we're on. Make sure you don't leave your tools outside. I'm a bugger for it, as you can see there. We'll get all them inside and tucked away. Right, gives you something to do, doesn't it? Hey, gets the old grey matter working. So yeah, that'll be us. We're going to carry on with that tomorrow, weather permitting. If it's peeing down though, I'll be planting up me brassicas and planting them on, my baby brassica plants. And we'll just have a garden catch up and a potting up session. But yeah, Saturday night tonight, don't get too drunk, boys and girls. You're up for the plots in the morning. I did 4 days full work last week, which is good. So that's picking up. We're not going to starve to death, I don't think, now. But yeah, stay with it. Stay with us. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, give us a thumbs up. If you're not, give us a thumbs down. But please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe if you can, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss another episode of what we're doing in the Growers Revolution down here in Eden. Alright, catch you later, boys and girls. I'm going to go home because I'm freezing. It's only like 1 degree above zero at the moment. So I'm going to get off, get a shower, get some dinner, and Bob's your uncle. Bye bye now. Take care, boys and girls. We love you all. Mwah.